internet, Instagram and Facebook, and yogis and yoginis at home. And hello, yoginis and yogis here in the studio. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. We got a little bit of sun outside. And after the water, we are all nourished, right? We're ready. We're ready for a fun, good, and profound practice. So bring yourself to a seated position on your mat, facing me. And make it a comfortable position, because we're going to be here, seated. Know that you always have a choice to make your practice your own. So if you need to lie down or help yourself in any other way, do it. Do it. And now start centering the base, whatever that word means to you. Start breathing around that base and bringing that breath up, opening the chest and shooting from the crown of your head up, elongating you as you breathe. Soften your belly on your inhale. And contract yourself on your exhale. Inhale, belly and rib cage. Exhale, bring some force into those muscles of the core, pushing the air out. One more time, inhale. And push it out. Maybe forcing some more air out. Last part. Belly inflates, rib cage opens to the sides, and now even the collarbones are opening to the rising sun. And exhale. Keep breathing, connecting your mind to the breath, to the base. And a big breath, everybody, in. Let it out through your nose. One more time. Big breath in. Let it out through your nose. On your next inhale, open your eyes and smile. And I am smiling, I promise. Open your hands to a T. Palms of your hands facing forward. And now start rotating the thumb down. So as far as you can down. Pay attention to your shoulders. Don't let them go up, right? Don't flare the rib cage. Pull it in. And push down those thumbs. Push, push, push. Tuck the chin just a tiny bit in so your cervical spine is also elongated. Breathe in. Exhale, bring the hands, the back of your hands together before you and roly-poly. And when I say roly-poly, I mean just roll in. One more time, open up. Roll those shoulders down, thumbs to the back. Exhale, roly-poly. Back of the hands together. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Bring the hands to the mat before you. Walk them forward as far as you can at this point of the warm-up. Release your head, maybe forehead on the mat, not a necessity. And just roll and bob your head from side to side, from hand to hand. Just a few no's here. Boundaries are very important. So saying no is not always negative. And then come on up, back up slowly to the center. Twist to one side. It doesn't matter which side. We're doing the other one. Roll those shoulders down. I soften my belly here, but keep a little bit of a tuck of the tailbone just to protect my lower back. And come out of it slowly with your breath. Take it to the other side. Again, shoulders down. A little bit of a softness in the core so the twist is juicy. And bring it back slowly, 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 slowly. And some bends from side to side. Today I like to put my forearm on my thigh. You can modify it with hands on the mat. Just feel that side bend, awakening the spine. Lubricating all those little joints there. And when I open myself up and when I'm bending over, I keep my elbow back so I'm not collapsing into my chest. I'm opening it. So a few more of that. Just take your time and breathe. And when you are ready, meet me in the center. Walk the hands to like about 2 feet ahead. Well, my feet, that's really tiny. And push the bum up so you come onto your knees and then open the legs and voila, you're in table. Adjust. That was an elegant way to come to table. Nothing fancy, you guys. In tables, we stack the joints, wrists under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Push yourself to child pose, a nice breath, and then push yourself over just a little bit, over your wrists. And this is what I call testing the waters. Just testing the wrists. Wrists are, as I often say, temperamental. And just move back and forth. You can even sway from side to side on your wrists, just trying them out. See where the tenderness is asking for some breath. If you want to explore here, you can walk the hands a little bit more forward and just drop the hips a little bit, open the chest, and go back, maybe all the way to child's pose, and breathe. And at some point, with your explorations, open the knees a little bit so you can incorporate a little opening of the hips, circling the hips around to one direction and pushing down on your wrists when you are in the front. Again, awakening all the joints and switch direction. Come back to table proper, stacking the joint, so more or less 90 degrees all around. Flip the right hand, so the back of your hand is on the mat. Try to straighten your hand, and now just cork your hand in it. What I mean is move the shoulder in and out, in its socket. So we're doing two things. We're stretching the wrist, and we're kind of moving differently with the shoulder. Don't worry if you don't get it, it takes time. And take it to the other side, just a little bit of a different way to move the body in a functional, different way. If you can't do it, try to put your palm of your hand on the ground or on a wall and cork it, just so you get the hang of it, of the shoulder, right? In and out, in and out, in and out. And then tuck your toes under, come onto your heels, stretching the feet. Now, a lot of people don't like this. Bear with me. Circle the wrists. We're stretching the most important thing, the feet that carry us. It's plural, right? And then a little bit of the headdresser. Again, a movement we don't do a lot with the wrists. We do linear, back and forth, but we don't do sideways. A little bit of the 8, one direction and the other. And this is where about the feet are starting to say, okay, what's up? Let's come out of it. And then a little bit of a shake, shake, shake. If you need and you feel like it, you can stretch the inside of your wrists. We did that a little bit. A little bit of a mushing your hands for blood circulation. And come back, untuck the toes, tap, 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 tap. Yeah. Cows and cats are next, just before we fly up. So this is so personal here. Some people like to wag their tail or just go fast between cats and cows. And some people just hold it in cow for a few breaths and hold it in cat. As I always say, you do you. And then tuck your toes under and shoot those hips up and back. So your head falls naturally in between your hands. First downward dog of the day can be with the knees bent, and in fact it can always be with the knees bent. As long as you're shooting your hips back, it's good. If you feel like you need to walk the dog, please do. So pedal your feet, one heel coming down at a time. Keep pushing with your hands. Keep pushing those hips back. And breathe. At some point, come to stillness. Releasing the head again. Saying no and yes. Roll those shoulders away from your ears so you're creating space in the neck. Big breath in. Let it out through your nose. Bend your knees plenty and stay. Look forward as if you're a cat. Burn those thighs. Push up to downward dog. Release the head. One more time. Bend the knees. Stay here. Look forward. You're a cat about to jump, but you're not jumping. Breathe. Push back up to downward dog. Last time. Bend knees to a hover. Look forward. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Walk or hop to meet your hands. Forward fold. Bend your knees and let your belly rest on your thighs. Release the neck. Maybe grab hold of your opposite elbows. And with your breath, just fall forward. One more wholesome breath here, opening the lower back. And on your next inhale, bring your hands slowly onto your thighs and push yourself up to a standing position. I take the time to mention a few things in standing pose, Tadasana. I like to tuck the tailbone in, engage the glutes. I never flare my rib cage. I pull them in. So this is the core, the corset. And then open the shoulders, open the hands, looking at the rising sun. Nothing can move me, I'm a mountain. On your next inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky, hinging from the hips, coming down to a forward fold again. Inhale, halfway lift, hands either on the shin or on the mat. Hold it here. Tuck the tailbone in. Make it a core exercise. If you want some more, bring the hands over your head and then shift your weight back. Maybe lifting the toes. Tuck the tailbone in, engage the core. And release down. Hands to the mat. Legs go back to plank. In plank, we're stacking the shoulders above the wrists as well. We're tucking the tailbone in. And in fact, this is a standing pose, if you think about it. You tuck the tailbone in, you push the mat away. So you're pushing those shoulders back. Don't flare the rib cage. And look down, elongating the cervical spine. On the count of 6, we're coming to the mat. Tuck those elbows in. If this is not in your practice, lower the knees. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Untuck the toes, leave the hands where they are, and breathe. One wholesome breath here. Engage the legs. So push the shoelace side of your feet into the mat. And also engage the glutes. And then inhale. Exhale, peel the chest up. Baby cobra. Roll the shoulders down. You can look down. One breath. And release. Push to table. Push to child's pose. Breathe. Open those shoulder blades while breathing. And pay attention to how different this is with the belly constricted. Push back to table. Push back to downward dog. Bend the knees plenty after a full breath. Look forward. Hop or walk to meet your hands. Forward fold. This time, you can challenge yourself a little bit by holding the feet behind with your hands, obviously, either ankles or shins, and then bending and extending the legs, releasing the head, and maybe at some point staying. So pulling with your hands, straightening the knees, hinging a little bit more through the hips. And release all tension, bend the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, fold forward again. And I always do the hips back, never the knees forward, right? Inhale, halfway lift. Leave the right hand on the right shin or on the mat. Micro bend the knees, not too much. Open the left hand to the sky and then bend the right leg and push the hips back, opening a little bit more. So this is where pushing back the weight comes handy. Exhale, bring the hand down, micro bend the knees once more. Left hand on the shin. Inhale, hand opens, and then straightening yourself up or stretching. And release down. Hands to the mat. This time, maybe jump to plank if you want to, or walk, your choice. We're going to be here 3 breaths. So pace yourself, tuck that tailbone in, engage the glutes and push the mat away. The more you push, the easier it gets. The more you open the lax muscles, the better. Think about your back as a table. In Spanish, this is called tabla alta, which means high table. And on the next exhale, we're going into Chaturanga Dandasana, or if you want to baby cobra. So push forward, halfway down, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward dog. If you did the cobra, baby cobra, meet us in downward dog. One big breath here. And let it go through the nose. Release tension in your neck. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. And stretch the hamstrings by pushing back. Pushing those hips back. On your next inhale, right leg goes up in the air. Try to square the hips. We're not opening them yet. Just straight up. Then bring the right leg behind the left. If you need a visual, look at me. Just straight behind, crisscrossing behind it. Walk the hands a little bit closer and just stretch here. Just stretch. Come back with the hands. Right leg goes up. And then circle it in its socket just a few times, in and out, which means both directions. And then 3-legged dog again, with the right leg up, lift the back heel, bend the leg into your chest, push over the wrists just as we did in the warm-up, flex the foot, and step it in between your hands. Here you can tent the fingers or use blocks or your hands on the mat. Start bending more the front leg and then straightening it. Bending, coming down, maybe opening the hips a little bit and straightening the right leg, the front leg. A few times, play around with it. Now, at some point, leave the front leg straight, lift the foot, the right foot. So that's a yumtious stretch right there. Try to keep the hips square. If you want more, maybe lift the hands. A little bit of a balance. Hee hee hee. Be silly. If you fall out, come back in. Great. Bend the front leg, lower the foot. Leave the left hand on the ground next to the foot. Open the right hand to a twist. Make sure your knee is not swaying. It's stacked over the ankle. Now, make sure you are working those two inside thighs. So much so that you can lift the left hand off the ground without changing. Yes, a bit of a challenge, you don't have to. Beautiful, Taylor. And bring the hands to frame the front leg. Push the right leg back to plank and breathe. 3 to 4 breaths here. Tuck the tailbone in. If you're like me and you need to move, 2 options. Either push back and forth with your toes, just breathing, or stepping left leg out and then right. It passes the time for some reason. 2 more breaths. Keep pushing with your hands. You're getting stronger as you breathe. Chaturanga Dandasana next. Push forward, halfway down. Upward dog, downward dog. So, remember I said don't wait for me to drink? Well, you can drink now. I'm going to stop for a minute, let you hydrate. It is getting really warmer. You can feel it from the outside in. So I didn't see anybody drinking. Drink. Myself included. And whenever you're ready, either wait in child's pose or come straight back to downward dog. I will wait for everybody. Bless you. And breathe. On your next inhale, left leg goes up. Try to keep the hips squared. Then bring it behind the right leg, just as we did before, crisscross kinda. And then walk the hands a little bit to where it's comfortable and push back, push those hips back. Such a beautiful opening to the next poses. And then bring yourself back, obviously. Lift that left leg. Circle it in its socket a few times, either bent or straight, up to you. Both directions. And meet me in downward dog, 3-legged dog. Left leg up. Then lift the back heel. Bend the leg into the chest. Push over your wrists. Flex the foot. And step it in between the hands. Come into that exploration of straightening the front leg and bending it a few times, squaring the hips until the front leg can stay straight. You are in a good place, sweet stretch. Then flex the foot. Once you're here and you want a little bit of a challenge, maybe lift your hands. Yeah. Release, lower the foot, bend the knees, adjust. And bring the right hand to the ground or on a block and twist to the left. Left hand coming up to the sky. So my feet are pushing into the mat. I'm tucking my tailbone in, and that's how I can lift my right hand. Well, I could. Yeah, here we go. Right? Bring the right hand back down, and the left hand, framing the front leg, pushing it back to plank. Breathe in and out, in and out. Coming to the mat by the count of 6, but then coming back up to the count of 6. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release the knees to the ground. Child pose. Hold some breath here. Take your time. A little bit of reverse engineering right there. One more breath and push back up to table. Tuck your toes under. Push those hips up and back to downward dog. All those pointers, always pay attention to your shoulders, releasing the neck, breathing. And on your next inhale, right leg goes up in the air. Lift the back heel, bend it to your chest, and step it in between your hands, not for long. Lower the back heel down so the foot is parallel to the edge of the mat. Using core, come up to Warrior 2. Warrior 2 is a hip opener, so open it to the left when the right leg is to the front. Then stack the shoulders over your hips. That's what you're doing here. You're opening the hips. Then tuck the tailbone in, open the hands, lower the shoulders, and look to the front. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. Exhale, come back to Warrior 2. Bring the forearm down, open the left hand to the sky. Exhale, come back to Warrior 2. Let's flow. Reverse the warrior. Side angle. All the way down to the thigh. And just marry that movement with your breath. Bring some grace. And come back with your breath to Warrior 2. Take a minute to be a warrior. Straighten the front leg. Bring the foot to be parallel to the other one. I'm going to switch sides. Hi, people, folks at home, that's for you. 5-pointed star. Micro-bend the knees. Engage the glutes and engage the core by sucking everything in and tucking the tailbone in. Don't sass your bum out. Technical term. And then inhale. Exhale, come down, hinging from the hips, pushing the hips back. Do it slow with love and grace. Just open everything up. Now, here you can stay with hands in the middle, or grab whatever you can of your legs, behind the legs. Just as we did in the warm-up, we are going to inhale, pull in. Exhale, shoot those hips up. One day, the head will be on the mat. Just enjoy this beautiful stretch. Shift your weight onto your toes, micro-bending the knees, never lock them, okay? Nice, Taylor. And then everybody release tension, bring the hands to the center or on blocks, that always works. Bring those heels a little bit in and come up to goddess. Now, always adjust. For me now, this is too open. So I'm gonna close it. And then I'm gonna, once again, bring that bum bum in. So when I bring the bum bum in, that beautiful stacking of the shoulders over the hip is happening. That's where you wanna be. Now, if your legs are too open, you're not going to be stable. Make them 35 degrees or so. Bring the toes a little bit back in. Sit down. Sit down, down, down. Da, 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 pa, pa, pa. Yeah, a little bit of movement here. So, we're going to move from side to side, not a complete side lunge. We're just moving with the knees at the same direction as your toes. Very important for mobility, okay? Find a place in which you can move your legs, but your upper body is like a statue, not moving at all. So you can bring the hands into lotus, pinkies and thumbs meet, and just move. Now, the challenge here is this: slow. How slow can you go? Just burn. I am trembling, you guys. I'm like, my body's doing all kinds of things. One more to each side, slow. Make it an endurance pose. And everybody, hands to heart center in lotus. Inhale, come all the way up. Open back the hands and the feet to 5 pointed stars. Bring your hand to your hips. A little bit of unstructured movement here. Just readjust whatever you can. Now, if your hips are not mobile, that's exactly it, Lynn. You can do this. You can do this. Absolutely. Just find some sort of a reset movement. Bring the feet closer. And everybody, I'm sensing the energy here. We're gonna shake. So, shake, shake, shake. Just jump, jump, jump. I'm closing my eyes. Sorry, not through the mouth, through the nose. Let your head go, let your hands go. I'm just holding my mic so you guys don't pay attention to me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe wet ropes, so hands to the sides. Bring it back. I don't know why I needed that. I hope you did too. And at some point, set yourself back into a stillness mode. Breathe in and out through the nose. That will help you calm down the energy. And open yourself back to right leg front, warrior 2. So I'm moving around, don't pay attention to me, I'm moving all the time. Bring the back leg and the back hand to meet the front. I do it silly, you do you. Whoop. Yes. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky. Maybe a little bit of a back bend, engage the glutes. And come all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Jump to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana is next. Upward dog. Downward dog. Nice. Come back to the yoga. Come back to the breath. And on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Lift the back heel, bend the leg, push forward and step it in between your hands, lowering the back heel, setting up for warrior two. Once again, take the time to adjust and to find your hip opener. I always have to do this. I come to warrior here and I have to do this. It's a small tweak, but it changes the pose. Nice tweaks. Look forward, be a warrior. Flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. You know where we're going, so take it from here. Forward, side angle, and flow. Make it your own. Just pay attention that your front knee is not swaying. And come back to warrior two. Take a moment to come back to that warrior energy. Then straighten the left leg and bring it back to 5 pointed stars. You are all stars. I waited for that. I planned it. You two at home, done. Okay, a bit different, okay? Something different. Bend both knees, shift your weight into the right leg, come to a 5 pointed star on the right hand, the right leg, sorry. Well, you can try the right hand, I'm not gonna stop you. And then come down slowly. The whole thing is control. Bend the knees, the other side. Try to keep that opening of the, it's like crescent, right? But in movement. Come on down, and the other side. Different. Come down. To the left, to the left, to the left. And come down. One more time each side. It's very demanding, I know. Come down slowly, bend the knees always. Left side. Oh boy. I'm kicking my own butt here. And come down. Come on up. And leave the hands down. Ooh, a little bit of a circling of the hips. Just nice movement. Beautiful, Amy, yeah. The hands, yes, the hands, because we work them so hard. I was about to say the wet ropes work too here. You know, just release the hands. We're not going to shake again, but you are welcome to bring some element of unstructured movement into the releasing of the hands. Maybe swinging, maybe backstroke. Just release the hands, right? And whenever you are ready, oh, that's beautiful, I want that too. Interlace the fingers behind your sacrum. Open the chest, but push those hips forward. Don't do the curvy thing. Push them in and then open. Come on back. Release. Thank you, that was beautiful. And back to warrior two. with the left leg to the front, right. Again, that jumpy, silly thing, back leg and back hand meet the front. Do it your own. It could be just a step, it could be a kick, it could be a wonky jump. And go. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Jump or walk to plank. Bring the feet together, tuck the tailbone in. Different kind of plank. Feet together. We're going to bring the left hand to the center of the mat. Roll those heels to the left back. Open up to side angle. If you want a challenge, lift the top leg. If not, stay here. If this is too much, bring the top leg in front of you bent. Beautiful, warriors. Bring the leg back. Bring yourself to plank. One breath. Feet together. Tuck the tailbone in. Push the mat away. Right hand in the center. Lower or roll those heels back to the right back of you. And yes, leg up if you want. One more breath. And bring it back. Nice. Come to your forearms and breathe. Bring the feet together and just breathe. Push through your elbows. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hips to the ground. Come to Sphinx. This feels so good. Stretching the core. Always small engagements in the glutes to protect your lower back. If you are comfortable here, you can roll your head. Let it go. Breathe. Roll those shoulders back. And then release yourself to the mat. One set of bow. If bow is not in your practice, you can always do half bow, which means one leg, or baby cobra. It's your choice, okay? Prepare. Inhale, exhale, bow or any pose you want. Keep those knees in. And release. Breathe. Bring the right cheek to the mat. Open the hands to a T. Melt to the mat. Once again, if you need, drink water here, or use the towel. I always forget that word. I don't know why. I want to say cloth. Make sure you're doing the other cheek as well. Some love to both sides of the neck. Try to roll those shoulders away from your ears, even on the mat. Nice adjustments. And breathe. Bring the hands back next to you and bend the right leg coming to half frog. So, half frog, I'm just bending the leg, putting it like 90 degrees. If you need, you can use blocks. If this is too intense, come to your forearms, okay? And work it from there. Come to your forearms, yeah, yes. This is easier. And then bit by bit, you can come the whole way down. Your choice of doing with your head what you want. Maybe forearms as a pillow. If you're a very bendy type and you like frog, you can go and do the whole frog twice. It's up to you. Yeah. I have people here that have been practicing more than me, so. Take your time. This is a mechanical stretch, not a forcing muscle one. Deep breath here. If you wish, and this is in your practice, you can even open the leg if you're in half frog. Full frog, you're full frog as it is. Yes, beautiful. One more breath here. And slowly, as slow can be, come out of it. Take a breather. And left leg. So bend the left leg. Put it on the floor. You can work your way into it and adjust with your forearms. And then come to the mat. If you're doing full frog, pace yourself and breathe. If you want more of a challenge, you can start straightening the leg as well, or a little bit of it. You can also play with the angles. Just try your hip out. What is going on there? One more full breath here. And come out of it slowly, slowly, slowly. Take your time. Coming out of poses is transition. Open your hands to a T. Forehead on the mat. Left leg this time bends. Keep pushing it up a little bit. And then, if you need a visual look at me, this is called scorpion stretch. I'm shifting the foot while tilting on my right shoulder, and I'm shifting my left foot to the right. So this is the outcome. Yep. Now, if you are very bendy, you can bring the left hand to grab hold of your foot behind you. Stretch. This is like half a bow, but on your right shoulder. Bring that knee up. Open the hip while stretching the upper back. Bring it back. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And take it to the other side. This time bending the right leg. Pushing it up. And then start tilting onto my left shoulder. Yes, everybody got it. Yay! If you want, you can bring the right hand to hold your foot. Nice. Bring that knee high. Yes, open the hip. And come out of it with your breath. Slowly and with control. Bring yourself to table. Complementary stretch to that is threading the needle. So right hand in table, right hand goes up. Exhale, bring it under the left hand. Lift the hips up. I like to bring the left hand on top of the right palm hand, or hand, palm, palm hand, whatever. And then I straighten both hands. That gives me another bit of a push into the twist. But that's just me. One more breath. And bring the left hand back if it wasn't, or the leg if you lifted the leg. And obviously, if I'm too speedy for you, take your time. You do you. Open the right hand up and bring it down. A little bit of adjustments, right? Cows, cows. Cows and cows, yes, cows and cows, cows and cats. Maybe wagging the tail. And set it up in neutral again. Tuck the tailbone in just a tiny bit. Inhale, left hand goes up. Exhale, thread it under your right hand. And breathe. Once again, if you want to, yes, I do that. Exactly, Nikki. If you want to rise, not rise, if you want to lift a leg, it's the right leg. I'm staying down today. I don't know why. Every day a different practice, right? Breathe. Feel that beautiful stretch to the shoulder. And come out of it by bringing the leg down, the right hand to place. Inhale, left leg goes up. Not leg, hand. And down. We're in table. Tuck your toes under. Push back to to downward dog. Lift the right leg. Bring the knee in between your hands, setting up for pigeon. If pigeon on the floor is not your thing, you can always go to your back. Bring the right leg on top of the left and open your hip like so or like so. Pushing the hip with your hand. If you are here in pigeon, make sure your hips are square. Make sure your bum bum is on the floor. If it's not, put a block or a cushion under. And then come all the way down to the mat. And when I say all the way down, you decide what all the way down is. Just letting everything open up with no stress. And the more you breathe, the less stress you have. And once again, make your way out of it really slow. Rising up using the core, otherwise you might injure your back. And then bend the back leg, grab hold of it, and bring it to wherever it comes. This side is different for me. So, nice split, Erin. Just hold it here. Breathe. And release. Slowly again. Set it up to come up to three-legged dog. Almost said dead. And bring your knees down to table. Come to hero pose. A twist to the left, a twist to the right, just a little flow of a twist. And drop your bum bum to the mat, stretch your legs in front of you, Bring yourself down to the mat. Bring the feet to the mat. And bring the knees, bring the legs up, but bring the knees on top of your thighs. So it's like a reverse table of sorts. Yes, legs on the other side. Thank you. Tuck your tailbone in and try to glue the back to the mat. So first of all, you are eliminating that natural curve, okay? Then pay attention that your knees are actually over your hips because we have a tendency to bring them in. Then bring your hands on top of your thighs, 3 pressure point pose. I'm pushing my hands into my thighs, I'm pushing the thighs into my hands, I'm pushing the lower back into the mat. Core engagement, peak. So push, 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 push for dear life. The more you push, the more you get strong. So this is so good for planks. Lower those shoulders, by the way. Don't crunch them up. And just keep on pushing, pushing, pushing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet, the soles of the feet together on the mat. Open the knees to the sides. You can flip, 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 flip the wings of the butterfly here. And just breathe. Bring the hands on top of your thighs as you are and push your hands into your thighs, creating space on the lower back. So you are decompressing the lower back here. The soles of the feet are together. The knees are open to the sides, but you are pushing yourself up through the thighs with your hands. You might want to tuck your chin in a little bit too. You decide how much you're pushing in. And breathe. We're taking care of the spine now. And release. Let the legs come up, so the knees are up, but the feet are on the ground. Tuck your tailbone in, not to a full bridge, just a baby bridge, and untuck. We tuck the tailbone so much today. Untucking should feel really nice, but if it doesn't, then don't do it. A few movements here. And then lift the bum just a tiny bit off the mat. Push it to the right side of the mat and drop the legs one on top of the other to the left, or any other configuration of side twist on the mat. I like to open my hands to a T. And if you want another layer of movement, look to the right. Two or 3 or 4 breaths here. Release tension in your neck and shoulders. And also pay attention to your jawline. Maybe release the tongue. And on your next exhale or inhale, it's up to you, engage the core. So you're lifting the legs back to center with the core. And take it to the other side. Lift the bum once again off the floor. Shift it to the left a little bit. Drop the legs to the right in whatever angle you want. Open the hands to a T if you wish, and look to the left. Deep, 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 deep breaths. Letting the left side open up. And with your next breath, whatever it is, engage the core. So suck the belly a little bit in and bring the legs back up using the core. So the legs are just coming along. Release the left leg to the mat. Bend the right leg to your chest. Give it a pull in and away from the rib cage. Breathe into the pose. Modifications here are using the strap or the towel to just bring some more tension. You can open the leg to the side if you wish, to the right side, dancing king on the floor. And whenever you are ready, switch legs. Come out slowly, slowly, slowly. Bending the left leg this time to your chest, interlacing the fingers on the shin, pulling in and away from the rib cage. So good for a well-worked thigh and hip. But also for the lower back. And then come out of it. You can release both legs to the floor, setting up for Shavasana. Or take anything you need from this practice, maybe folding both knees to the chest and rocking from side to side for just a bit, giving yourself a hug. Or bending and extending the legs to the sky. Whatever it is, make sure it's out of the body before you come to Shavasana. And yes, indeed, take your time. This is your practice. Shavasana is as good as your ability to rest, just as your practice is as good as your ability to bring breath into the form and practice it. So respect for both sides of the practice. Soften your belly. Enjoy the doing nothing part. Allow yourself to just think of nothing specifically. do nothing, and even feel nothing. Be a vessel for the breath. Everything else will come. 10 breaths in complete silence. And whenever you're ready, start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Start introducing movement back into this vessel. Allow yourself to be awakened. Maybe a stick pose, hands over your head with a big breath, stretching, kind of a human tag of war, and then releasing the tension. At some point, roll to one side or stay on your back. You are most welcome to do you. If you are rolling on your side and you want to join me in a seated position, great. If not, even greater. I'm going to I got stuck with the word. I want to pranayama everything. That's not a verb. We're going to finish the practice with the sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and Om, and you can join me. I thank you for coming and practicing with us. I never take it for granted that you choose to be here. Namaste. Namaste.